good morning everyone, or good evening, whichever you like. Hi. It's kinda between the two, as you can see. From the sunlight just a bit reaching up to the room. Is everyone here? I'm kinda not. Yes, sorry about yesterday. I had a bit of a headache, so I couldn't really stream that day. But at least you got the notification, hopefully. But today I'm much better. And those breaks between my words are just there, just so I can check the sound levels and everything. I know the music is a bit loud, but we are not reading at this point. You should be able to hear me. So, we are gonna read chapter 5 and 6 of Fluttershy's Bad Hair Day, right? This one. Yep. Let me lower the volume of the songs. And let me remember what we had last time. Oh yeah! We had the telephone game when we had to get the muffin, get the carrot, get the blah blah blah, everything just to get one of the ingredients. And now they have to get a white lily, or no, they have to get a pink lily, right? From the lake. White lilies are easy to get, but they need a pink one. And they need a mushroom as well, but they don't know where it is. And they don't have too much time. Obviously, we have to have a time limit. So, I guess, are we ready to start or continue? There's something on my feet, by the way. Oh, that's from you, Dice. So let's stop this and let's start. Without further ado. I can still lower this, I guess. Okay, let's start. Chapter 5. Fluttershy opened her eyes, just a bit, and squinted around the dark bedroom of her cottage. Surely, it had to be morning by now. Yet no bright, welcoming rays of sun adorned the floor today. Fluttershy rubbed her eyes and stood up, glancing at the clock on the bedside table. Oh my, it's actually mid-morning? She realized. Then why is it so dark? Fluttershy scrambled over to the rabbit hole in the corner of the room leading to Angel's home. After a short clamber down the earthy slope, she reached her friend's living quarters. The white rabbit remained asleep, sprawled on his white makeshift bed. Angel Bunny? Fluttershy called as she entered. Come on, Angel, we stepped in. We need to go looking for the next ingredient. Or did they wake up? That's the question. That sounds like a nightmare if there is no sunlight. Angel rolled out of bed and onto the dirt floor. Alright, he groaned as he sat up. Let's get out of the way. The lake is only about a mile from here, right? Yes, said Fluttershy. It shouldn't take us very long to get there. Yeah, sure, but you are a rabbit. You forgot, Fluttershy. Then let's go right now, Angel said. You said we are already behind schedule. Let's go and get this thing as quickly as we can. And then we can go bug feathers about the location of the lost one. Hopefully that studious old windbag has found something by now about that mushroom. The two rabbits exited Fluttershy's home, and really began apparent why the morning was so dark and eerie. Thick of blanket clouds covered the entire sky. Only a few rays of direct sunlight broke through around town, and the only Pegasus could be seen in the distance. Oh yeah, I forgot, there's gonna be a thunderstorm. Rapidly closing those spaces up with an additional fluffy wisp. Wow, that's a tongue twister right there. Fluffy wisps. That's not unusual for me. There's actually a cloud cover outside as well. What's up with the cloud cover? Angel asked. Are the Pegasus cooking up some inclement weather? The memory hit Fluttershy instantly. Grandmother said there would be a storm this week. She remembered aloud. I had completely forgotten about it. Angel looked uncertainly at the sky. Well, let's get moving. Maybe if we are quick, we can get to the lake and get to bed early before the weather gets bad. Then it won't matter if we have to spend the rest of the day cooped up on the ground. He sped up over grassy hill. Try to keep up, Shy, he called. The faster we get there, the better. Fluttershy had relatively little difficulty keeping up with her guide this time. She was finally getting the hang of her new bunny buddy. Briefly, she wondered if she would have to relearn her movements once she became a pony again. No, it's like bicycling. You once learn, you never forget. A quarter of an hour passed, and the sky continued to darken. A faint, distant rumble of the thunder indicated the storm was beginning on the far side of Ponyville. A few moments later, the two rabbits crested the bridge and gazed down at the glimmering surface of the lake. A still almost half mile away down the slope. A small stream bubbling up from one of the many springs that were so common in the area snaked down the steep slope before emptying itself into the body of water at the bottom. I'm struggling right now. It's hard to understand the words when you're half asleep. It's not understanding, it's reading aloud. And also understanding at the same time. See? We are almost there. Piece of cake. Angel said. He stepped forward to begin down the slope. Psst! Hey, boss! Angel and Fluttershy turned to see the two familiar faces of a pair of brown rabbits poking around another nearby rabbit hole. Morning, boys, Angel called. We are a little busy right now. I'll talk with you later, okay? One of the buttons shook his head. Boss, it's pretty urgent. We need to see you right now. Pretend and I said something encouraging. Yay, thank you! Angel sighed, glancing at the sky, at the lake, and finally back to the buttons. Alright, give me a second, he said. Angel turned to Fluttershy. Kid, why don't you get started heading down there? He suggested. I just gotta discuss business with the buttons for a minute, and then I'll be along too. I should go by myself? Fluttershy asked, slightly nervous at the prospect of exploring without Angel's guidance. Kid, it's the lake. Angel said, "You have been there hundreds of times. Go down the hill, see if there are any lilies washed up on the beach, and if there is, grab it and come back." "And if there aren't any?" Fluttershy asked. "Then wait for me or something," Angel replied. "Like I said, I'll be there in just a minute." Fluttershy nodded and carefully started down the hillside while Angel ducked into the hall to have a quick discussion with his henchman. "Alright, everybody," Rainbow Dash called over the it's Rainbow Dash, okay, sure. Called over the roaring wind. "You are doing great so far. Now we need to direct the wind east and get the rest of the rain clouds started. I want this whole team getting soaked within 10 minutes. Are we clear?" I said whole team, right? This whole town getting soaked. But a pack of Pegasus nodded their heads, rapidly scattering to manage the storm. Once Rainbow was satisfied, she turned tail and blasted away through the turbulent skies. She smiled to herself, enjoying the exhilaration of the flight, despite the harsh conditions. Within a few moments, she hovered over the fields on the outskirts of Everfree. The silhouette of a cursed forest loomed on the horizon, with Fluttershy cottage situated placidly just beyond its borders. The rain team hadn't reached this part of the storm's range yet, so Rainbow decided to give them a little help. "I hope Fluttershy's kittens are smart enough to stay indoors," the mare thought to herself, "because there's gonna be one heck of a downpour." Rainbow tightened her muscles and delivered a monumental kick to a nearby cloud, which immediately began to empty its contents into the landscape below. It also crashed into the next cloud, which bumped to the next, setting off a chain reaction of torrential rains onto the plains. Rainbow admired her handiwork. Handiwork? Her hoofy work? Right? And with a curt nod, she sped off to check the Thunder team. There's gonna be Thunder as well. Of course. Fluttershy was about halfway down the hill when the first big drop of rain splashed down on her head. She glanced nervously to the sky and immediately regretted it as another drop splashed into her eye. Blinking away the water, Fluttershy glanced around in surprise as more rain spattered down, coating the rocks around her. The storm worsened faster as any she could remember. Soon, her view of the lake was completely obscured by sheets of pouring rain. Soaked and quickly panicking, Fluttershy decided she had to abandon her mission and return to the top of the hill to seek shelter in the animal dance below. Treading carefully on the loose mud and slippery rocks, she began to ascend to the slope. "Angel," Fluttershy called, "are you there? If you are, then we need to turn back. The storm is getting too strong." Fluttershy was unable to see her friend. Perhaps he was still underground with the Buttons brothers? He struggled to reach the top of the hill again, so she could find him. A loud crack of thunder overhead startled Fluttershy, causing her to misstep and tumble onto the mountain slope, dangerously close to the stream. With a little yelp, she managed to grab onto the small stone lodged in the soil. The rain intensified still more, plummeting into Fluttershy and everything around her. Unable to get her footing on the mud, she could do nothing but hang on to the stone. With growing anxiety, the stranded rabbit realized the situation had gone from inconvenient and uncomfortable to outright dangerous in a heartbeat. "Angel!" she cried. "Somebody! Anybody! Help!" A bolt of lightning ripped through the sky above her, followed almost immediately by a tremendous boom. A vibration began to dislodge the tiny stone she clung to. "I'm going to get swept away," Fluttershy realized. "I'll be thrown into the stream and pulled down to the lake. I will drown for sure." Once again, Fluttershy screamed for help, hoping against hope that Angel would appear to save her life yet again. But the slope remained devoid of any other creatures. Fluttershy cried out in dismay as a tremendous gust of wind battered her, finally yanking the rock from the earth, unable to get any purchase on the mud beneath her. Purchase? Why? She could do nothing to prevent herself from finally being pulled into the stream. The rain and the wind had increased its flow exponentially. Within a final terrified scream, Fluttershy was submerged and carried down the hillside by the torrent. Second. We need something darker right here. We are against the storm. This better be good, boys. Angel grumbled once again. Once he and Button Butters had found a suitable private room to talk. You two know, I'm still trying to fix the situation with the member. Sorry to interrupt, boss, one of the Buttons replied. But we have a crucial piece of information regarding the big job, and we need to speak with you immediately due to the possible need for emergency re-strategizing. Re-strategizing? Angel asked quizzically. Great, what's gone wrong now? There's been a change of plans regarding the departure of the Apple family, the other button said. They are not leaving on Tuesday? Angel asked. Well, that's simple to fix. We move the date to the day that they are leaving. That's not it, boss, the first button said. Apple are still leaving on Tuesday, and that's still the only day that they will be all the way from the farm simultaneously for the foreseeable future. The problem is that they seem to have grown wise to our tricks from the past. Our scouts had confirmed the Apple's plan to leave Winona behind to guard the orchard during their absence. Winona? Angel yelled. That insult for a self-righteous collie is going to be hanging around. She's worse than the ponies are. Furious, Angel kicked the stone down the tunnel, clenching his fist as he turned back to the buttons, both of whom seemed intimidated by their superior's rage. Right, boss. Winona, one of the buttons said quietly. So we figured that would cause the change of plans? It sure does, said Angel exasperately. This isn't going to be a simple collection of missions anymore. Now that we are dealing with the opposing party, we are going to need to coordinate the heist at a far more intricate level than we would have before. We will need sentries, decoys, and careful, precise, and well-timed division of labor between a number of small raiding parties. And I still wouldn't be surprised if that stupid dog manages to catch one or two of the troops. I knew the dog would be involved in the story somehow. You know who is the biggest what was the word I was searching for? It's so stupid when I can't find the word I'm looking for. It's on my tongue. But if they sent Fluttershy there, just to take care of Winona, because oh yeah, we heard that Winona is gonna be alone. Can you take care of her? She is so lonely, right? Then that would be the biggest dispersion right there. And just shook his head. I really don't have the time to deal with coordinating this whole thing, he complained. Look, boys, Let me go and help Shy find what she's looking for. It should only take an hour or so, and then I'll be back. In the meantime, you guys need to gather some of the other commanding officers. Meet me in the cottage as soon as possible, and we will start reorganizing the game plan for Tuesday. The button saluted and disappeared deeper into the tunnels. Mumbling to himself about bad luck and stupid dogs, he just pointed in the other direction, back towards the entrance. When he finally reached the opening, he skidded to halt, staring in shock. What the? Angel couldn't see more than a few feet beyond the exit of the den. A deluge of pouring rain blocked the way. Cautiously he poked his head into the air, and was immediately ripped by powerful winds. Hey kid! He called, hoping Fluttershy had the sense to turn back when the storm began. Where are you? Well, she turned back, that's true, but she was swept away. Listening intently, Angel believed he could hear Fluttershy's voice, although it was quite at a distance. As he struggled to hear more, however, it vanished. Unsure if he was imagining things, Angel ducked back into a rabbit hole. I'm not dumb enough to go in that, he thought. And Shy isn't dumb enough to try to continue to head for the lake. I'm sure she probably just found a shelter somewhere. If she ain't back after the rain lets up, I'll go looking for her. He started down the tunnels leading back up to the cottage. Of course, this is a stroke of luck on my part. Maybe I can actually get a little work done while she's gone. Believing his luck has finally changed, Angel turned his thoughts from Fluttershy and began to mull over all the possibilities and consequences that now came into play regarding the big job. Fluttershy had no idea which way was up or down. All she could do was gasp for breath each time she was huddled above the surface of the choppy water, but she knew this might become impossible once she actually fell into the lake. She couldn't see a thing. Water splashed everywhere around her, and even when she was tossed briefly to the surface, the rain greeted her instead. Cold wind, rushing water, and her own feeble shrieks of terror were the only things she could hear. Well, one part of her is probably lucky. As a body, she probably can't swim, but as a bunny, she might be able to float on water. Well, obviously it's gonna be not calm waters, but she has a chance to stay on the top of the water. If she was a pony, and this amount of water was sweeping her away, she had no chance to do anything except flying up. After what seemed like an eternity, the castaway rabbit found herself free falling. At the last stream had ejected her, and being unable to control her speed or direction, she tumbled into the lake. Battered and half conscious, Fluttershy sank into the depths. At least the raging winds and waves had vanished now. Instead, they were replaced by oppressive dark water on every side. Fluttershy made a small effort to find the surface, but her aching limbs and disoriented mind made such a task impossible. I have a feeling that the sea ponies might come into play. Right? That's her chance of surviving. This is it, Fluttershy thought to herself, unable to hold her breath much longer. I'm going to drown right here. My friends will never even know what happened to me. I disappeared to Las Pegasus and never returned, as far as they know. Darkness began to creep around the edges of Fluttershy's already cloudy vision, as she prepared herself to succumb to the grip of the lake. A large, blurry shape appeared in her view, and she started to see what it was. Well, hey! Said the shape cheerfully. I recognize this rabbit. How you doing, Fluttershy? Who is that? The strange shape finally got close enough for Fluttershy to make out what it was. The familiar reptilian silhouette betrayed the identity of the little alligator in front of her. Oh, it's Gummy! Gummy! Fluttershy tried to say. Instead, only a large bubble came out. Fluttershy clapped her paws over her mouth, not wanting to waste what little oxygen she had left. What was that? Gummy asked. Oh, I forgot. Humans can't talk underwater. I wonder why is that? Oh, for that matter, why can I talk underwater when I'm still an air breather? That makes even less sense. Indeed, I wonder why there are different species with different qualities at all. If there were some kind of creature, that would make things more straightforward. But I guess that could get boring too. Maybe the universe has some kind of anti-boredom mechanism driven evolution? What do you think, Fluttershy? Starting to maintain consciousness, Fluttershy waved her arms and pointed to the surface desperately. Oh yeah, said Gummy vaguely. You must need air a lot more often than I do, don't you? Want me to take you to the surface or something? Fluttershy would have responded with a fervent yes, but she had passed out. Gummy to the rescue! I have said that line before. That line. Gummy to the rescue. And that was Felix right. But I guess we should be safe. Suddenly, the raging sound of the storm returned. Unsure of where she was, but completely aware that there was once again air present, Fluttershy began coughing and gasping violently. You okay up there, miss? Gummy asked. I brought you to the surface. I hope you don't mind. Thank you. Fluttershy managed between coughs. Gummy, you saved my life. Did I? Gummy asked, his voice barely audible over the sound of the rain. Well, how about that? Gummy fell silent. Fluttershy assumed he had dipped into one of his famous philosophical reveries, despite the fact he was floating in a wide, unsettled lake in the middle of a violent thunderstorm with rabbit clinging to his back. She briefly admired how fully he could become lost in thought, despite his surroundings. Gummy! Fluttershy said as loudly as she could, gripping Gummy's scaly side, as a wave crashed over her. I hate to bother you, but we are kind of in the middle of a bad storm here. Could you take me to the shore, please? Fluttershy, you should ask him to get a water lily for you, right? He's the perfect bunny for that job. We know he's a alligator, but still, he's the perfect one for the job. Sure thing, miss, said Gummy. He began to paddle towards the shore, showing a little concern for the terrible weather conditions. Fluttershy staggered to hold onto her little savior's back. I can't help but wonder something. Gummy began as he paddled along. What were you doing out here, anyway? I don't know too many rabbits who would like to be out in these conditions. He paused. Heck, I don't know too many of any animal that like to be out in these conditions. I wasn't trying to wind up in the lake. Fluttershy said, shivering as a gust of wind threatened to overturn them. I tried to turn back as soon as the weather got bad, but I wound up in the stream by accident. Originally, I was trying to come down here to find a pink water lily. A pink water lily? Gummy asked. You know who might be able to help you find one of those? My friend Jim. Jim? Jim? Fluttershy asked. That's kind of an unusual name for an animal. What kind of creature is he? Gummy stopped battling, blinking a few times in confusion. I have no idea, he said finally. He is blue though, does that help? I'm confused. A blue animal that's called Jim. Blue? Fluttershy was becoming increasingly confused, just like me. I'm not sure I can think of any blue animals. Why do you think this Jim can help us find that pink Fluttershy? Jim knows everything about the lake, Gummy said. For the matter, Jim probably knows everything about everything. I love to come here to visit him. He is one of the only creatures who really understands me. The bits are cool and all, but they just don't have the capacity for the mysteries of the universe that Jim and I do. Is that a monster of the lake or something? The show finally came into view, but Fluttershy was beginning to have second thoughts about abandoning her mission. She had found a stable position for holding on to Gummy, and she was hesitant to surrender her search so easily, considering her remaining time before the effects of the heart's desire become permanent was rapidly dwindling. She decided to question Gummy further. Gummy, wait! Gummy stopped. Yes, miss? This is probably a bad idea, Fluttershy squeaked. But do you think Jim is around here? I really need to find a pink Fluttershy soon, and if I can't look for it today because of the rain, well, I don't want to think about what will happen if I don't find it time. It's raining? Gummy asked vaguely. He looked from side to side, and then up to the sky, which was instantly illuminated with another brilliant lightning bolt. Oh, so it is. Sure, we can search for Jim. If you don't mind riding a little longer. Fluttershy considered it. In truth, it was a dangerous and foolhardy thing to attempt. What her adventure to collect the parts of the cure would be forwarded enormously if she could get a pink lily today. AJ would probably be thrilled as well. Fluttershy knew he desperately wanted to get back to his job coordinating the Rabbit City. She would do this for him, as well as for herself. Alright, let's go, she said finally. And go we shall. Gummy announced, rapidly turning around, just a few meters from the shoreline, and heading back into the open water. I'm sure Jim will be happy to have visitors. Fluttershy was just hunkered down on the alligator's back and waited while Gummy navigated across the rough surface of the lake. An hour passed, in which Fluttershy did a little save for clinging into the back of a gorgeous ride. Gummy spoke very little. He just continued to travel out on the center of the lake, soaked to the bone and very cold. Fluttershy finally spoke up. Gummy? She stuttered, her teeth chattering fiercely. Are we almost there? I thought we have crossed the whole lake by now. Oh yeah, sorry, said Gummy. I zoned out for a bit there, like 45 minutes or so. Fluttershy, who hadn't been able to tell that Gummy wasn't swimming due to the chaotic rise and fall of the water, just sighed. So, an hour has passed, and they arrived in 15 minutes. And then Gummy just zoned out for 45 minutes. After that. Good. But never mind that. I think we are here, Gummy announced. We are gonna need to dive to find Jim though. Can you hold your breath? Not for very long, Fluttershy admitted. Maybe I can give you some kind of signal when I need to go up for air. Sure, just don't pop me on the top of the head, Gummy suggested. I'm not sure Jim can come to the surface though, so I have to do all the talking. That's fine, said Fluttershy nervously. But if Jim knows about everything, then they can also ask him about the fungus as well, can they? Fluttershy took a deep breath and wrapped her paws tightly around Gummy's neck before the alligator dove beneath the surface, replacing the sounds of the tumultuous surface with the quiet of the depths once again. Jim! Gummy called. Jim, it's Gummy! I could use your help, your old friend. Jim did not appear. After Gummy called a few more times, he was forced to take Fluttershy back to the surface. For 10 more minutes, the unusual duo engaged in a series of dives, but each time there was no sign of the mysterious Jim. The process was beginning to take its toll on Fluttershy. Maybe we should give up, Gummy, she suggests. Jim is not there, and I don't think this is good for my health. Alright, just one more try, Gummy insisted. Then we can go. They disappeared beneath the waves as they can. Jim! Gummy called. Come out, friend, I really need your help for something. There was silence and stillness for a few more seconds, just as Gummy was about to surface. A gigantic shape shot out of the depths, coming to a stop right in front of the alligator. Fluttershy's eyes went wide with fear as she stared into the glowing yellow pair of eyes with angry-red pupils spotted by the other creature. The newcomer was nearly the size of a fully grown pony with a bright blue skin and a collection of long tentacles. It's a squid? Fluttershy realized. A squid? What the heck is a squid doing in the Lake of Ponyville? Oh, Jim, said Gummy gleefully. I was worried you weren't going to show up. I don't have any voice changer, so I can't do mysterious voices. That's for sure. I have no idea how Jim would sound like. Hello, Gummy. That's definitely not his voice. Jim said in a deep voice. Oh, a deep voice, okay, that echoed mysteriously through the water. My friend, you seem to have a passenger on your back. Jimmy's large eyes swiveled to examine Fluttershy more closely. The squid recoiled suddenly in fear. Oh, it's a demon! Jim cried, expelling a cloud of ink into the water. Flee, Gummy, before it eats your soul! Gummy waved away the cloud of ink with one arm. No, Jim, it's not a demon, it's just a mammal. Oh, it's a mammal! he can't say mammal. Mammal! Jim cried. He lit his tentacles in fear for a few seconds, but stopped abruptly for a few moments and looked sheepishly at Gummy. What's a mammal? Fluttershy rubbed on Gummy's head. Excuse me, Jim. Oh. It's not Fluttershy. Fluttershy can't speak in the underwater. Excuse me, Jim, the alligator said. I shall return momentarily. My passenger needs air. A moment later, Fluttershy was thrust back into the storm above. A squid? Fluttershy gasped. Jim is a squid? I didn't know there were any squids in this lake. Jim is the only one I know of, Gummy said. He claims he fell out of a flying exotic animal delivery truck right as it was passing over the lake. Now he is the keeper of all the lake's secrets. Okay, that makes sense. Derpy, why are you dropping everything? Wait, delivery truck? Do I see that right? It's a truck? I didn't know there were actually cars and trucks in Equestria. Fluttershy sighed. And you are sure he can help us find the pink water lily? She asked. No, but I don't have any better ideas. Gummy admitted. There is no harm in asking, right? I guess not, Fluttershy admitted. Go ahead. They lit below the water, and Fluttershy stared down apprehensively at the creature waiting below the surface. Jim, this is Fluttershy, Gummy said. She's a pal of mine. You wouldn't believe what these mamas will talk about. She got me thinking about all sorts of new things. Oh, very interesting, said Jim, who seemed to have forgotten her previous fear of Fluttershy entirely. But why did you bring her here, Gummy? Well, she needs to find one of those pink water lilies, Gummy explained. But there's a bit of rough water above, so it's a bit difficult. Do you know where we could find one? Oh, that's easy, Jim said. The wind currents are causing all the lily pads to gather at one part of the lake today. Just follow me. I'll take you right to them. Great, Gummy said. We need to follow from the surface though. You know, the need of air and all that. Oh yes, air. Jim said wistfully. Have you ever thought about air, Gummy? You need it to survive, but you can't even see it. What's up with that? Oh, believe me, I think about air all the time. Said Gummy sincerely. Just well as humans think about air all the time as well. If they didn't think about that, then we wouldn't have chemistry about. We wouldn't know the ingredients of air. I think of in the episode feeling keen when all the stuff fell on Twilight, the Pegasus were using a flying truck. May. Now that you say it like that, I shallowly remember. You might be right. You might be actually right. A second. There should be an image actually right here. Gallery of the episode. Yep, it's a truck. It's kind of a truck. You're right. You're absolutely right. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, believe me, I think about air all the time. Yep, that's how it was. More out of desire to end the useless conversation than the need for air, Fluttershy rapped on Gummy's head. We will follow from above then, Gummy said, darting to the surface with his passenger. Fluttershy watched the large shadow beneath the waves begin to recede, and Gummy quickly paddled after it. Should be only a few minutes ride, miss, Gummy assured her. Your pink lily is just ahead. I hope Jim knows what he's doing, Fluttershy mumbled. Of course he does. He's Jim, Gummy insisted. He's never steered me wrong before. Fluttershy said nothing. There was nothing to do but hope Gummy was right. You can switch. Also, that's what did appear in the show. It was in the lake, chasing after CMC. During the first episode in trying to find the cutie marks. Oh! It must be for 1 second, but yeah. I vaguely remember something like that. Okay, now we see the reference. Now we see the reference where it came from. Somebody always got Rainbow Dash really right up. There was something about the ability to create weather, this powerful, that never failed to fill her with pride. She flew through the turbulent skies at incredible speeds, her clothes completely soaked with cold rain. Thunder crashed all around her, only adding to the adrenaline rush. Rainbow hovered in place over the lake, going all over her storm duties in her head. Speaking of rain, I hope you don't hear that. But it's actually... there is actually thunder outside, so I hope my net will not die while streaming. So you can tell me when you have frame drops or anything. Because I can't do anything about that. Rainbow hovered over the place of the lake, going all over the stunties in her head. Let's see, the rain is almost done, the winds have all been properly redirected, so now the lake just needs a routine vertical mixing. The powered Pegasus swooped over the lake's surface, turning in rapid circles to create a small whirlwind. She watched in satisfaction as the swirling currents met the water, bringing the reaction that would soon cause a cyclone. Once she was certain that her actions were successful, she rocked away to meet the other Pegasus and began the storm shutdown procedures. Obviously, when they are about to find the lilies, Rainbow is gonna make things first. Well, lucky you. I hear it hitting the window. There, said Gummy, indicating a mass of plants in the distance. Those are lilies. I told you Jim would lead us right to them. It opened into waves again, where Jim floated, patiently waiting. Excellent, Jim. Excellent work, Jim. Gummy said. Now we need is a pink one from the pile, and we can go. Oh, that should be easy. Jim said. There are dozens of pink ones up there. Just go up and grab. Uh-oh. What's wrong? The currents are changing, said Jim. Jim said solemnly. Can you not feel it? A water cyclone is coming. For the first time in Fluttershy's life, she witnessed the look of concern in Gummy's face. A cyclone? Is it nearby? It's coming this way, said Jim anxiously. Quickly, to the surface. Gummy and Fluttershy emerged into the air, while Jim floated just beneath. Sure enough, a pocket of whirling air was beginning to pull up the lake water into a small but vicious funnel. The water lilies floating nearby quickly poured into the miniature storm and shattered into fine pieces. Oh no! Fluttershy wailed, watching lily after lily be destroyed before her eyes. Gummy, we have to get one before they are all gone. We can't. Gummy deadpanned. If we go that near that, we will be sucked up and hurled into the sky. But if all the lilies are destroyed, Fluttershy gasped, I won't be able to complete the cure in time. We have to get one now. They don't have to be in one piece, do they? You can get them after the storm comes down. You can get the petals. Bubble came from beneath the surface. Gummy dove briefly to listen. What was that, Jim? I'm gonna do it, said Jim. If the lady needs a flower that badly, I'm going to get her a flower. I am nothing if not a gentle squid to a lady in need. Before either Gummy or Fluttershy could object, the large squid had turned and jetted through the water to the base of the cyclone. What is he doing? Fluttershy asked as she and Gummy resurfaced. He hardly knows me. Why is he risking his life to get a hold of the lily? Oh, Jim has priorities straighter than most of us could ever dream to have them. Gummy mumbled cryptically. His sense of duty is something that should inspire us all. Fluttershy decided against responding to that. Despite the pouring rain and thunder still roaring overhead, Fluttershy could only concentrate on the small patch of remaining lilies being drawn towards the destructive cyclone, and the dark shape beneath the water, making a beeline from them. Jim burst from water, wrapping the tentacle around one of the very last lilies to keep it safe from harm. He carried through the air and disappeared directly into the oncoming cyclone. Jim! Fluttershy and Gummy cried in unison. Jim was heard out top of the cyclone. He sailed through the air, crying out in sheer excitement. That's right, Jim! Live the dream! Gummy called to his airborne friend. A bolt of lightning coursed through the sky, intercepting the squid in midair. Obviously. For a brief, defining moment, Jim's eyes shone with wonder, and his body radiated with a glorious light. And then, Fluttershy and Gummy will experience fried squid. For the first time. Even though they are not eating meat. At least. Well, Fluttershy is not eating meat, but Gummy can. And then he exploded into a million pieces. The end. The light in the sky faded, and the small cyclone died down and disappeared, but not before ripping up every single pink water lily. Gummy and Fluttershy took no heed to those details, however. They were transfixed, their eyes upon the spot where Jim had been a few minutes before. Oh, lucky Jim! Yes, Gummy said finally. He always said one day he would achieve a higher state of consciousness and be taken from us by a glorious light in the sky. I just never thought that he would actually do it. Gummy sighed serenely. I hope one day I can be like him. Turning a sickly shade of green, Fluttershy looked at the tiny bits of squid raining down from the sky and wished very much that she could erase all the memory of what she had just witnessed. She nearly leapt off Gummy in shock when an entire tentacle slapped down upon the water right next to them, the tip uncurling to reveal a single undamaged flower. See? Said Gummy. Jim always delivers. And it was a white photo lily, not a pink one, right? Fluttershy had absolutely no idea how such an event had occurred, but after a month of meditation, she reached out and carefully plucked the flower from the severed tentacle before it sank. Hey, look! The storm is finally starting to let up, Gummy observed. By the time we got back to the shore, the rain will probably have almost completely stopped. Gummy began paddling to the shore, oblivious to the sheer shock to the disposition of his companion. Fluttershy gazed at her prize, deciding it best not to try to think about anything that had happened today. Nope. Fluttershy will have PTSD about this day, that's for sure. Change of scenery, I guess. Let me find one which is actually better. I guess we don't have anything. Fine. Okay, let's recap. And you're sad. So we are sending teams 7 around the north perimeter. During this phase, one other pair of decoys lead to Winona into the southwest sector. Okay, so Angel is sending Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura into the north perimeter. The last song sounded very Egyptian. Walk like Egyptian. Nope. I don't know which song was it. He pointed to the spot on the makeshift map of suitable acres to emphasize his point. After that, we move on to the phase 5. Is this all still strategically plausible, Professor? Professor? Angel turned to the Professor, a grey rabbit, with white markings that looked a little bit glasses around his eyes. Front teeth that were far too big for even the average rabbit. The Professor scratched his head as he surveyed Angel's map, scribbling details in a tiny rabbit-sized notebook with his tiny rabbit-sized pen. I think so. The Professor answered finally. Not only as long as we can be certain that Winona will be led in this direction, since this phase requires the safety of a larger pack of rabbits than some of the earlier parts of the heist. I recommend the second set of decoys to ensure Winona is kept on the trail. What do you think, boys? Professor turned to the buttons, who were also present at the strategy meeting. The twins nodded in their heads in unison. Great, said Angel. Now, after that, we move on to... Angel? Called a voice from the rabbit hole. The 4 rabbits gathered in the cottage, turned to see Gummy emerging from the tunnels, with Fluttershy draped over his back. Angel hastily folded up the map and handed it to the Professor. I brought you a present, Gummy said, tilting his body a bit and dumping Fluttershy onto the floor. Oh, there you are, Shy, Angel said. Man, that was some storm. Were you hiding with Gummy all day? Well, not exactly, said Fluttershy, getting to her feet and bringing out her sudden ears. Angel looked Fluttershy over. Sheesh, kid, you look like a wreck. What the heck happened to you today? It's a long story, Fluttershy said. I ended up getting swept into the lake. And then I saved her life, Gummy said proudly. And then we went on an epic adventure and Jim achieved higher level of being. Who is Jim? Please don't mention Jim, Fluttershy pleaded, feeling slightly ill again. What matters is we found this. She showed Angel the lily she had worked so hard to collect. A broad grin crossed Angel's face. Kid, you are something else, he said. I can't believe you managed to get one of these, even during a storm. Didn't you say before this that getting one of these is easy? Sounds like that rabbit needs to gnaw of some food. Like this can be dangerous for a rabbit. That's true. Angel picked up the flower and deposited it near the bed next to the sapphire. He also grabbed the towel and brought it over to Fluttershy, who was still soaked. So, what have you been doing all day? Fluttershy asked. Well, the weather was too bad for me to find you, Angel admitted, so I was just having a little talk with a few of the boys here. Fluttershy looked at the other 3 rabbits present. Her eyes moved from the buttons to the rabbit she hadn't met yet. Oh yeah, Angel started, and that's... Snuggles, said Fluttershy excitedly, recognizing the rabbit she encountered in her yard. Professor Snuggles, the professor corrected her. I am Angel's key strategizing agent, Any of his operations are usually not attempted until I have been consulted. The four of us just were talking about a plan for a new housing wing in the tunnels. Angel lied. I was about to come and find you, now that the rain is letting up, but I see I don't need to. Fluttershy smiled. Does it mean we can go talk to Owlicious tonight about the sad ingredient? Sure, kid. Angel said, why don't you get warmed up and get a little something to eat first? We'll go once it gets dark. Angel turned. Oh, and Gummy, thanks for bringing the kid back. Oh, it's Angel. Angel sounded little bit like Fluttershy at that moment. Oh, and Gummy, thanks for bringing the kid back too. But Gummy has vanished. Angel shrugged. Anyway, Shy, give me a second to see the boys off. Fluttershy snuggled up in a large tower, and Angel and his associates proceeded into the tunnel. The buttons disappeared further down the hall, but the professor stayed behind. I actually don't like these variations in the song. Couple, if I may point something out. Professor Snuggles began. The time to act is fast approaching and we still have a lot of planning to do. I'm beginning to wonder if it will continue to be possible to keep our intelligence hidden from your friend Fluttershy. Relax, Professor, Angel said. The kid has almost everything she needs to become a pony again. If what Feathers is at the library comes through for us, we will have the cure by tomorrow. I certainly hope so, Professor Snuggles said ominously. We cannot complete the strategic planning without a pre-scouting mission to Sweet Apple Acres, and Buttons and I cannot relay instructions to your groups in time unless we have a few days to prepare them. Tomorrow is early Sunday, so if we don't perform the final scouting run tomorrow, we will be unable to manage the heist on Tuesday. Time limit is getting closer, obviously. Alright, don't worry, Angel replied. I'll figure something out. Tomorrow morning, you, me, and the Buttons will head up to Sweet Apple Acres, and we will find some way to keep the kid busy. I promise. Professor Snuggles crossed his arms. I hope you know what you are doing, couple, he said as he turned to go. I'm beginning to think that if Fluttershy's condition doesn't change, you will be too distracted to finish preparations properly. What are you talking about? Angel nodded. Of course, the big job comes first. I'm trying to keep the main matter ignorant because it benefits us to do so. Professor Snuggles nodded, still not looking at Angel. Let's hope your actions match your words, couple. You can see that. The professor disappeared down to the tunnel, leaving an infuriated Angel standing alone in the dark. Well, it's time to go to chapter 6. Why not? I'm checking if everything is still fine. You didn't drop any frames? Nope, everything is still fine even though there is a big storm outside. Let's hope it stays that way. By the time Fluttershy was properly cleaned, dried, warmed, and fed, the sun had gone down, and the stormy day had given way to a cool, clear night. Carrying the sapphire and pink water lily, Angel and Fluttershy set out for Ponyville for another meeting with Owlicious. Moonlight illuminated their path as they passed through the rain-soaked fields. Neither rabbit spoke very much. Both had a lot on their minds after the events of that afternoon, In silence, they finally arrived at Ponyville Library, late into the evening. Peavy, who had been perched on a windowsill, squawked in excitement when he spotted the two visitors approaching. "Uncle Owie!" he called into the library's main chamber. "I see Angel and I see Fluttershy. Come over and pick them up." Aloysius fluttered to the perch and then down to give Angel and Fluttershy a lift. Once the rabbits were safely inside, he hopped down onto the study table, where, as usual, many books were strewn about. "Alright, fellas," Angel said. "We got a sapphire and a big lily. It wasn't easy either." Fluttershy cleared her throat. "Aloysius," she began quietly, have you found the location of the last ingredient yet?" "Yeah," Angel added. "And tell us where to get the sparking toadstool or whatever the heck it is called." "Twinkle mushroom," Aloysius corrected. "Whatever," Angel snarled. "I've had it up here with this adventure, and I don't think Shy is doing a whole lot better than I am. Now, do you have the location or not?" Wait, before you answer, allow me to guess." Angel said grumpily. "You have good news and bad news, right?" "How did you know?" Aloysius said flatly. Angel shook his head. "Fine, okay, out with it." "Very well then," Aloysius replied. "The good news is that we have managed to find the location of the final ingredient. What's even better is that it is not far from here at all." Angel nodded. So you know where it is, and it's nearby. What's the bad news? Is it a protected species in some conservation district? Maybe it's growing on a farm owned by the crazy pony who runs the carriage stand?" Aloysius opened his beak to respond, but Angel cut him off. "But wait, even that would be too easy. So now is the part where you tell us that it's going somewhere even worse than that, right?" "Correct," Aloysius replied. "The twinkle cup mushroom is only known to grow in one location, the very heart of the Everfield Forest." Angel nodded again. "Yup, that would do it." Fluttershy's eyes went wide. "The Everfield Forest," she wailed, tugging on her ears miserably. "We can't go in there." "You are telling me?" Angel responded. "Component that place is dangerous at best. For small creatures like us, the chance of mortality is almost 100%. "I'm truly sorry for delivering this news," Aloysius said mournfully. "If there was any other place to get twinkle cup mushroom, I would not hesitate to inform you. But unfortunately, the species is not cultivated by ponies." Fluttershy felt lost. After all the work she and Angel had gone through to retrieve the first two ingredients, the third was now hidden away in what was perhaps the most dangerous place in Equestria. "But she stuttered. "Isn't there some way we can enter the forest safely?" "Alas," said Aloysius. "As far as I'm acquainted with that proposition, the repercussions of such endeavor can only culminate in electricity when attaining the purposes of proacting substance." Fluttershy blinked several times. "What?" "As far as she knows, there isn't," Peavy translated. "Oh." Fluttershy plopped down on the floor. Angel glanced at her before turning back to Aloysius and crossing his arms in frustration. "So, what exactly do you suggest we do now, Feathers?" he asked. "I would like to ask you two not to give up hope just yet," Aloysius urged. "Peavy and I will continue researching. If we find anything at all concerning either the Everfree or another location where the mushroom grows, we shall come to you immediately. You need not to continue returning here at this point. I will visit you two at the cottage if I have any news. Remember, Fluttershy still has a full 3 days until transformation is permanent." We cannot throw you in the towers so soon. So we are leaving it to you? Angel asked. There's nothing else Shy and I can do? I'm afraid not, said Owlicious. Becoming a rabbit permanently is preferable to death, I believe, so I insist you do not attempt to enter the Everfree. I wasn't planning on it, Angel said. I'm not getting myself killed for this, kid. Fluttershy slowly stood up. Let's go, Angel, she whispered. I don't think there's anything else to say. Okay, I'm deeply sorry, Fluttershy. Owlicious said. I feel as if I have failed you. If I find anything else at all, I will immediately find you too. I swear it. And I will help too, Baby announced. Unlike Uncle Oli has told, everything Uncle Oli has told me leads up to this moment. With me helping, we can search the books for clues twice as fast. Fluttershy gave Baby a sad smile. Thank you, both of you. Thank you for caring. Enough already, Angel groaned. Let's go, I'm tired, and I have business to take care of tomorrow. Owlicious lifted the rabbits out of the library, and placed them safely on the grass. Suddenly, he turned and fluttered back inside. Yes, we might as well sleep here again tonight, Angel said. He flopped down, placing his arms behind his head. Go to sleep, kid. We will try to figure out some new plan tomorrow. Fluttershy knew Angel had as little idea about how to proceed as she did, but she appreciated his feeble attempt to comfort her nonetheless. She snuggled into the tall grass, wondering what the next 3 days would hold for her. How could they get into the Everfree Forest without dying? At the last day. No, the storm already let up. The storm ended when Fluttershy and Gummy entered the meeting. But obviously there is the tall grass is still wet. At least it should be still wet. Okay, let's continue. Who is that? PV, okay. Wake up, sleepyhead! Flutter lightly tackled Fluttershy's sensitive nose, bringing her quickly to consciousness. She sneezed and sat up. Yay! You are awake! PV chirped. I'm going to sleep now, but I'm still up. Oh, good morning, PV. Fluttershy mumbled sleepily. She glanced around, blinking in the bright sunlight, and noticed a certain white rabbit was not present. Wait, where is Angel? Oh yeah, him! Baby said vaguely. He got up right after dawn. He told me to tell you that he had some business to take care of. The usual stuff. Angel's gone? Fluttershy asked. What am I supposed to do until he gets back? He said he didn't care. Baby replied. He promised he would meet you at the cottage a little after noon. In the meantime, you're free to go wherever. Fluttershy nodded. I will just go down to Bunny City for the morning. Then connect back to the cottage anyway. Uh-oh. That's a problem. She will notice the things that they were hiding from her. Right? If she goes down to the Bunny City. So, Baby said, trailing off. I should go get some sleep. Uncle Only and I gonna work super double overtime to help you out, Fluttershy. I just know we will find a way to get that mushroom. Fluttershy gave Peepy a gentle hug. I know, she said. You two are the best. Peepy smiled before disappearing in the library again. Fluttershy watched him go, then set off to the underground city. Conclave City? Maybe. Sure. So, you're absolutely sure the Mimar isn't following us? Professor Stagger's asked. For the last time, Professor, NJ had. Shy was still out like a little... Still out, like a light, when I left this morning. I wasn't stupid enough to tell Feather's bird brain little Felix assistant where exactly I was going either. She's probably woken up by now. And if I know her, she will probably just head straight back to the cottage and wait for me. Nope. The four of us can go to the Suite of Pegasus, check the logistics, plan out a few phases of the big job, and go back again without Shy ever being the wise about it. Professor Snuggles glanced suspiciously at the Bottom Brothers, but their expressions as usual showed nothing but support for the boss's plan. Well, the professor said, I suppose I should trust you know what you are doing, couple. Of course I do, Angel replied. Now the closest exit to Suite of Pegasus is coming up. Remember to move cautiously. I know there is only four of us, but that doesn't necessarily mean we can escape watchful eyes of the Apple family. Angel hopped out into the morning sunlight, followed by his henchman and the professor. Just across the road stood the old wooden fence, easy enough for a body to slip under, and beyond that, acres and acres of apple trees grew. The four intruders crossed the path and hopped into the property, hiding among the roots of the nearest tree. Alright, this is the primary entry point, the professor explained. I believe we have two auxiliary entrances as well, so Venona can just guard a single hole and keep us all out. For most of the morning, the group of rabbits scampered from hiding spot to hiding spot, tracking all over speed apparatus, and taking note of every convenient bit of cover for their forces to occupy. The professor, being exceptionally smart for a rabbit, was quickly able to make many revisions to the plans. Soon, it seemed they had developed the perfect heist. Hundreds of apples would be stolen, and assuming Venona fell for the decoys, a few of its safety would be risked in the process. Angel glanced over the hill, leading to the rabbit hole that would be used for the most of the exiting raiding parties, and nodded his head in satisfaction. Professor, you have done it again, he complimented. The stupid collie will never know what hit her. Oh, I didn't know about that part, huh? He's right there. Before anybody could move, Angel found himself snatched up by the ears. He angled helplessly from the walls of Venona. I see you vermins are up to no good as usual. Haha. Venona growled to her clenched teeth. I don't know what you're planning, but I can tell it's good enough reason for me to chase you out of the farm. Let me go, you overgrown fleabag. Angel threatened, swinging his tiny feet fruitlessly as Venona held him up. Yeah, right, Venona said. You just go back in to Golden Clamor. You best be glad I'm taking care not to hurt you. The collie glared down at the other three rabbits, who stood still as if unsure what to do. Get out of here, you three, she said, and don't come back. I take care of your leader. Angel's posse hesitated, before finally turning and bounding down to the nearest rabbit hole. And as for you, Angel, Venona started, taking care not to drop her catch. You adoringly delve to these nasty critters. If I let you scramble back down to the hole with a warning, you will be back in 10 seconds to find something else. so I think I will take it upon myself to take you home personally. Well, I guess I was right. Fluttershy is gonna be needed here. And she's gonna learn everything. She's gonna learn everything down in Bunny City. And then the rest of the team, Professor Snuggles and the Buttons, will find her to ask for her help. And she's not gonna be happy with Angel. Angel crossed his arms, finally giving up the fight for freedom. With a satisfied nod, Winona trotted away for the farm. Her prize still dangling from her teeth. Fluttershy easily found the large opening at the base of the old stump and hopped down into the tunnel. She mentored into the main underground plaza in the search of some breakfast. The trading plaza looked exactly like it had when Fluttershy had visited 3 days ago. Lots of animals made about, disappearing down the array of side tunnels and engaging in conversation and trading supplies with one another. I still don't have anything to trade, Fluttershy realized. Maybe I can find another coffee and get something for free again if I put it at Angel's tab. Wow. Fluttershy walked slowly to the plaza, glancing around constantly. She decided on a tunnel that she knew led towards a few of the smaller shops, but as she crossed the large chamber, a raised voice caught her attention. Carefully, she tried to move on, but couldn't help but stop to listen to an argument between a chipmunk and a hedgehog. A chipmunk and a hedgehog, huh? I would have told you, the hedgehog insisted. I only have a few berries as it is. I can't afford to give away more. But I need a lot of them, the chipmunk whined. Do you know how hard is it to keep my daughter satisfied lately? She is going through another girl's food, and those are her favorite. I'm sorry, the hedgehog said, but we are hungry too. I can't part with any more of these unless you have something else to give. Gotta go fast. I only gave you half enough beans. Chapman cried. What more do you want? Anything. The hedgehog started back. I'm not gonna go hungry yet again, just so you can. The hedgehog took notice of Fluttershy, who realized she had been staring. His eyes widened. Chipmunk followed his gaze, and her expression soon matched his. Is there something I can help you with, miss? The hedgehog asked, a hint of nervousness in his voice. Oh, pardon me, Fluttershy said, sheepishly. I didn't mean to listen in a conversation. I was just on my way to find something to eat. They realize who she is, right? The hedgehog and the chipmunk exchanged grim, knowing glances. You can have mine. Of course, miss. The hedgehog said, showing a pile of provisions in Fluttershy's direction. Yes, mine too. The chipmunk agreed, pushing the few bright berries she had been carrying towards the rabbit. Fluttershy was taken aback. Are you sure? She asked. I mean, it sounded like you need them for yourselves. Oh, nonsense, said the chipmunk anxiously, her eyes darting around the room. I'm sure you need them more than I, miss. Well, if you are sure. Fluttershy said Fluttershy, noticing both the hedgehog and the chipmunk edging away from her. Then thank you, really. This will make a lovely breakfast. I'm sure it will, said the hedgehog suddenly. And have a good day, miss. The two animals turned tail and scampered away from rather quickly, leaving Fluttershy bewildered. Unsure about the citizens' behavior, but still grateful for the food, she sat down in a nearby hall and enjoyed the hearty breakfast. I mean, she heard everything, that they needed the food, and she still took it. It was now mid-morning. Angel wouldn't be returning to the cottage for over an hour, so Fluttershy decided to wander the tunnels and see if she could find any animals she recognized. She strode aimlessly down the nearly identical passageways and soon found herself at an intersection she recognized. At this spot, a few days earlier, she had suggested that she and Angel proceeded down a lower tunnel branching off to one side of the tunnel network, but Angel had rejected this idea in favor of taking Fluttershy to coffee instead. With Angel not around this time, clearly there was no harm in seeing what this tunnel had, right? Sure. As Angel had said, this tunnel was simply an addition to the housing corridor. However, as Fluttershy traveled down the passageway, a strange feeling began to creep into the back of her mind. Something was different here. There was a dreary aura over this place she couldn't quite explain. Fluttershy peeked into one of the homes. Is it my imagination? She thought. Or do these tents seem smaller than the other ones? The living quarters here not only seemed smaller, they also had some sort of tense feeling surrounding them. Instead of rabbits relaxing comfortably and wandering about, this place was silent. And what few animals did pass by, ducked their heads and hurried along without words. After a few minutes, it occurred to Fluttershy that none of the creatures here were rabbits. Every last one was some other type of animal. Considering the homes she had visited a few days prior had heard almost nothing but rabbits, they struck her as very odd. Determined to find out what was going on, Fluttershy cautiously stepped into one of the occupied homes. Across the room, an old square woman sat cleaning a few tiny, shivered nuts, sitting atop a ragged-looking table. Excuse me, ma'am, Fluttershy called quietly. The square turned around and frowned when she saw Fluttershy standing in the doorway. Oh, wonderful, she grunted. Just when I thought I might actually get something to eat today without going all the way up to the cottage. The old square hoisted nuts in her paws to hand them out to Fluttershy. Here, take them and go away. This will keep there from being any more visitors for weeks or so, right? So every bunny is part of the family, I guess. They didn't recognize Fluttershy. They gave her the food because she is a bunny. What are you talking about? Fluttershy asked. I don't want your food. I've already had plenty to eat. The squirrel looked skeptical, and then she began to appear worried. You are not here for the food? Then, what are you here for? Am I in trouble? I didn't do anything, I swear. What? Asked Fluttershy, startled by the old squirrel's behavior. I'm sorry, I'm afraid there's been some kind of miscommunication. I'm not here for anything, I just wanted to ask you a few questions. Oh my god, you're running, Fluttershy. I just wanted to ask you a few questions. I'm here to torture you. And if you are not telling me what I want you to tell me, you are dead. This only made the squirrel even more upset. But please, miss, I did nothing to cause the rabbit's honest. Ma'am, what's wrong? Fluttershy asked, unable to make sense of her host's reactions. Why are you so upset? What happened with the rabbits? Suddenly, the squirrel seemed angry. She narrowed her eyes at Fluttershy. Why am I upset, huh? She growled. Is it some kind of test? What? Fluttershy asked. It's not a test, I just want to know what's going on. Not a test, The squirrel scoffed. You think because you come in here acting all cute and innocent, you're going to catch me off guard? But I wasn't born yesterday, sweetie. I've seen you. You've been right at the couples or side of the week. And you have the nerve to come in here and ask what's wrong? What does Angel have to do with all this? Fluttershy inquired. The squirrel appeared at a loss for words. She stared at Fluttershy Her mouth slightly agape, as she was unable to believe such a question had just been posed. Why are you mocking me? She suddenly shrieked. I told you I didn't do anything. Take the stupid nuts and get out. But I already told you. Fluttershy squeaked, drawing back in fear. I don't want the nuts. I just want to know. Fine. Then don't take them. Just get out. The squirrel hurled one of the tiny nuts at Fluttershy's head. She shrieked and dove out of the way, scrambling out of the den as quickly as she could. She fled from the tunnel, clearly hearing the old squirrel collapse into a fit of despair sobbing, somewhere far behind. Because she knows that she is dead. She attacked the bunny. That is physical assault. Hurling a nut at Fluttershy, not any bunny. It's Fluttershy. What in that question was it all about? If Angel hears about that... Fluttershy told as she ran. Something isn't right. I need to talk to Angel as soon as he gets back. Fluttershy sat on the bridge in front of the cottage, dangling her feet over the side as she waited for Angel to return. A glance at her reflection in the water reminded her of her dwindling time to find a cure for the highest desire, but even that situation had taken a back seat in her mind right now. Theories and questions about the troubling behavior of the animals had overtaken her thoughts for the time being. Her ears perked up at the sound of approaching voices. Hey! Ain't we close enough? Just drop me here, you stubborn mutt! No can do, Potter. I'm trying to make a point here. Fluttershy stood and looked in the direction of the approaching voices. She was greeted by the sight of Angel Bunny, dangling by his ears from the mounds of brown and white dog. At last, the pair arrived at the front lawn of the cottage. Here we are, Luna said. Now, I'm gonna let you down, and I don't wanna hear about you causing any more trouble. You hear? Luna glanced up toward the house and noticed the strange yellow rabbit approaching her. Winona? Fluttershy asked. Curious Winona sniffed the air, recognizing the scent immediately. Fluttershy? Curly gasped, gripping Angel on his rump in the process. Well, my stars, dear, you are looking different. Yes, I'm getting tired of having this conversation again and again. Angel interrupted. Oh, that's Angel. Fluttershy has been turned into a rabbit. Now if you excuse us, Winona, we have lots of work to do before the transformation becomes permanent. Wait, Fluttershy said. Angel, why was Winona carrying you back here? Cause I caught a thieving vomit and little friends and sweet Pegasus, of course. Winona said. I'm glad you had the sense not to go with them, Fluttershy. Oh, that's silly. Fluttershy laughed and shook her head. Winona, I'm afraid you have made a mistake. Angel wouldn't steal anything. It was probably just a misunderstanding. Angel wouldn't? Winona started. She glanced between Angel and Fluttershy a few times. She finally settling her gaze on the farmer. How much does she know? She asked the white rabbit. Angel frowned. Winona, we don't need to go into that. He insisted. Into what? Fluttershy asked. Into Angel's job, Winona said. Do you know anything about it? Fluttershy hesitated. Isn't Angel kind of in charge of the animal city? He and the other rabbits work for him, try to keep everybody properly housed and fed. Winona snorted. Oh! He's in charge, alright, but honey, your story isn't quite straight. Angel ain't no little good Samaritan. Shut up, Winona. You are not helping things, Angel commanded. No way, Winona said. I'm not letting you fill the poor kid's head with nonsense. She turned back to Fluttershy, her expression grim. I really hate to tell you this, Fluttershy, she said, but Angel does not, nor ever he has had the best interest of the animal community in mind. He is not the leader of the city, he is the leader of the organized crime ring that keeps the city in its threatened grip. threatening grip. What? Fluttershy gasped. Winona sighed. Fluttershy! Angel is the captain of the Ponyville's rabbit mafia! Fluttershy felt like a rock had dropped into her stomach. She glanced at Angel, who had placed her paw in his forehead in frustration. Great, he mumbled. If this wasn't enough of a hustle already, now this flea-bitten moth had to go spill the beans. This is a joke, right? Fluttershy managed. Very funny, you two. It ain't a joke, Winona said. Right, Angel? Angel scowled. Well, I can deny it, though. Can I? I guess you managed to actually get your facts straight for once. But... Fluttershy whimpered with increasing urgency. Surely one of the other animals would have told me, wouldn't they? I mean, Owlicious is... Father gets quiet because I asked him to. Angel explained, and his little assistant is too young to understand, so there was no need to worry about him. Gummy is clueless and Upper is indifferent to the whole thing, so neither of them were a problem either. Winona, on the other hand, he tried off his arms crossed tightly in front of him. So, said Fluttershy weakly, you don't work to feed animals? Feed and protect other animals in the area then? Oi! Angel mumbled. Just when I thought you couldn't get any dimmer, kid. The rabbits work together to provide for the rabbits. Nobody else. It's just money. It's just business. It's just business. Winona laughed. You can't threatening and starving other animals just business. At once, Fluttershy understood what she had encountered in the tunnels that morning. In both cases, the creatures she had met had been dealing with matters of limited food, and both had been intimidated by her simply because she was a rabbit, and more so because of her closeness with Angel. With a stab of horror, Fluttershy realized that her mere association with Angel may have made her look like a criminal in the eyes of the surrounding creatures. It is just business, Angel insisted. We still give out necessary food for the other creatures. We only starve them if they disappear or misbehave, and most of them are way too intimidated to try anything funny. Those few who do make a good example of themselves and keep half of the others in line. Fluttershy shook her head slowly, unable to believe what Angel was saying, and the nonchalant manner in which she said it. But I feed animals at my cottage, she squeaked, not talking more to Winona than Angel. So I've been helping to stop this, right? Maybe a little, Winona replied. Why do you think the animals are always so ravenously hungry? They are horribly underfed unless they are rabbits. But even the rabbits behave like that, Fluttershy pointed out. Winona nodded. Of course they are. They are trying to collect and hoard as much food, as much of the food you provide as they can. That way they can keep living their easy lives, and they keep a hold over the other creatures by stockpiling their resources. That way they can keep the rest of the critters under their hoods. It's behave and accept the poor living conditions and low food supply, or try to change things and starve. Fluttershy fell silent. There was no further argument she could pose, and there was nothing to do but accept the fact that Angel was not a real philanthropist of the animal world, but in fact a greedy and heartless criminal executive, and that he had been undermining her efforts to better the lives of the animals for all these years. Fluttershy stood in the middle of the path. Her arms hung at her sides, and her hair drooped down over her eyes. Winona and Angel looked curiously as she quivered in place. Shy? Angel asked, slowly approaching. You have a panic attack or something? You mean to tell me? Fluttershy began, her fist clenching and her voice barely above whisper. That everything you have told me in these past few days, and for that matter, everything you have led me to believe in the past few years, was A lie? No, said Angel. I tried to lie as infrequently as possible. I just answered everything as vaguely as I could. You were really the one who came up with all those assumptions about me being some kind of savage upholder or fodder. I just rolled with it. For the first time in his life, Angel found himself at the receiving end of a slap to the face. He placed the paw on his reddening cheek, shocked that Fluttershy had actually built up the courage to lash out at him. I can't believe you, Fluttershy cried, leaning in so close to Angel that the nose is bumped. All this time, I thought you were just a little grumpy because you were such a good hard worker and the job was stressful. You had me believe that you were a good rabbit under the sterling exterior, but you are not. You have been manipulating me and making the animals I care about miserable. And you stepped back. Take it easy, kid, he said. You are blowing this out of proportion. Out of proportion? Fluttershy screamed. I don't think I'm being harsh enough. How would you feel if you suddenly discovered that someone you have trusted and cared for, someone who has lived under the same roof with you for years, someone you treated and loved like family, and would gladly do anything for? What if you discovered the same someone has spent his entire life trying to undo all the good you have tried to do for those around you? Because that's what's happening right here, Angel. And trust me, it's pretty hard to blow something like that out of proportion. And you was taken aback by such an outburst for somebody and usually so timid. Kid, I think that... Just stop! Fluttershy interrupted, turning away to hide her tears. Whatever is it for you were going to say, I don't care. Any respect I had for you before is gone. She turned to Winona. Winona, please, take me somewhere. Anywhere, as long as I know it's not here. I want to get as far from this evil little rabbit as possible. What? And yes, Shy, you are forgetting something here. You can't leave. You still need the last ingredient for your cure. So you are sticking around, whether you are like it or not. I find it myself, Fluttershy announced. And even if I can, that's fine. I'd rather spend the rest of my life as a rabbit than spend another minute working with a double-crossing slime ball like you. Kid, you are being ridiculous. Angel stabbed. He stepped towards his angry companion, but Fluttershy spun in place, kicking Angel squarely in the chest. He cried out and tumbled backwards, and Fluttershy hopped into Winona's bag. By the time Angel managed to get to his feet, the dog and her passenger were already standing atop to the next hill. Good luck getting away, Angel called sarcastically. I got this swarm monitored. There is nowhere you can take her, but I won't find her. She will be plenty safe if I take her to the haven. Winona replied. Angel stiffened. You wouldn't dare. I would. Winona said. You will never find her there. None of you good-for-nothing rabbits will ever find that place. Winona turned her head, glancing at the rabbit on her back. Ready to go, honey? Fluttershy nodded. Absolutely. Winona took off, as Angel stood helplessly at the cottage's front fork. Alright, fine! He screamed, his whole body shaking in rage. Run away, Shy! Both and I know. But you and I both know you need me if you want to find that cure. So go ahead and run. You're just waiting for your last chance ever live a normal life with your pony friends again. Fluttershy didn't respond. She just gripped Winona's fur tightly as they... Okay, let's open up the notepad. Because I found a little bit of typo. This is chapter 6. Fluttershy didn't respond. She just gripped Spinosa's fur tightly, as the two of them rapidly disappeared into the trees, leaving the fuming rabbit far behind. Fluttershy was quiet for a very long time. Spinosa didn't say much either. The collie just continued to sprint towards whatever secret place she had chosen to take Fluttershy to. The pair passed Bitter Acres and continued out into the countryside beyond, heading into the unpopulated lands west of the Ponyville area. After some time, the forest appeared on the horizon. You okay up there, hon? Spinosa asked, finally. You've been mighty quiet. Although I know you had kind of rough day, so I don't blame you. I'm okay, I guess. Fluttershy mumbled. I don't know how to feel right now. I'm angry and disappointed, and a little bit scared. It's worse than just losing a friend. It's like finding out I never had a friend in the first place. She sighed. I guess I should have seen the signs. I've just never been the most friendly and cautious rabbit of rabbits. But over the years, when I was sad, he was always there to comfort me. I was really convinced that he cared about me. I just feel so bad now that I know the affection you thought was fate. Was false. I understand, Nolan said. I'm sure that that had to be. Well, I'm sure that had to be a hard realization for you. But right now, I think the best thing to do is just to get you away from that mess to the one place where animals who don't want to live with dangerous deception and tyranny have managed to set up a functional community of their own. Fluttershy looked at her unfamiliar surroundings. Where are we going anyway? She asked. I've never been out this way before. We have to be at least a few miles outside Ponyville by now. We are going to the place we call the Haven. It's a safe haven, Nolan explained. Angels' ghouls have no power there. They don't even know where the place is. Once we explain your situation to the director, he'll figure out the best course of action for you. Just a second. Sorry. Nolan and Fluttershy arrived at the edge of the forest. Unlike the other three, with gloomy canopy and marshy interior, this forest seemed quite welcoming. Sunlight filtered between the bright leaves. The trees were healthy and strong, contrasting those of other three, which were often drooping and covered with twisted vines. They might find a twinkle-cup mushroom here. This place is beautiful, Fluttershy remarked. Enriching resources, Nolan asked. This place is a little too far for the rabbits of Ponyville to exploit, so the creatures of the haven are able to collect food here without fear. Only a few of the larger Ponyville animals like myself can make the trip out here on a regular basis. Nolan came to her. And speaking of the haven, here we are. Fluttershy looked up, but she was not ready for the sight presented to her. In front of the pair stood a truly monumental oak tree. The fantastic plant was so tall, its circumference so great, that the Ponyville library looked like a sapling by comparison. Stretching over the canopy of the rest of the forest, the hundreds of thick branches formed a suspended network over their heads. We have converted this tree into a city of our own, Nolan said proudly. Sure, it's not quite as huge as the animal city back home, but it's pretty nice for the small group that lives here. And unlike the tunnels around Ponyville, I can actually fit in here. Nolan clambered through a hole in the side of the tree and Fluttershy marveled at the vast chamber within. Dozens of bridges crisscross the huge cylindrical interior. Of course, I hit the microphone with my hand. Dozens of bridges crisscross the huge cylindrical interior. Small carved stairways snaked up the floors, and numerous tunnels indicated the presence of dozens of smaller rooms radiating out from the central chamber. Everywhere Fluttershy looked, animals of all kinds walked, hopped, or flew from place to place. "Afternoon, Winona," said an old mole as he approached the new arrivals. "Who is that on your back?" "She's a friend of mine," Winona replied, as she needs to speak with the director right away. The mole squinted at Fluttershy to let us guess. "By gum, Winona, that's a rabbit you got there. You can't bring a rabbit here. You know what will happen." "Oh, calm down, partner," Winona said. "She's on our side, I'm sure of that." The mole looked skeptical. "Okay," he said suspiciously, "but I'm not sure you can trust her. When this place is swarming with rabbit monsters, don't come crying to me." The mole wandered away, mumbling to himself about rabbits. "Not pay attention to them, Horn," Winona insisted. "Director will understand your situation, and that's all that matters." "Who is the director?" Fluttershy asked. The director is in charge of everything that happens here," Winona explained. "He helps with the planning for our food gathering parties, and he single-handedly addresses any problems or concerns of all the residents here." "The director is Tank. I kinda have a feeling that it is Tank. Don't forget, Tank for president." Right? It might have happened. We then began to climb the small stairs lining inside of the tree. Together with her passenger, she sped up to join the chamber, passing hall after hall until she finally reached the very top. "He's the best at us, the best." Winona motioned to the highest tunnel in the tree with a paw. The director prefers to talk with only one visitor at a time," she explained. "I will wait for you out here. Go ahead in." What do I say?" Fluttershy asked. "I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what I'm doing here or what to expect. This holiday has been confusing." "That's okay," Winona said. "The director will help you figure out for yourself. He didn't become the leader of the whole community here of the Haven for no reason, you know. He has lots of wisdom, lots of kindness, and infinite patience. He will help you continue your search for a cure for your ailment, as well as offer guidance for your concerning your damaged relationship with Angel." "Oh, you put out the best guys who work well on Discord." "Oh." That is scary. I can make out who is who. Which pony is which pony. Without even seeing the colors. And going back to this, if it's Tank, I kinda wanna see if, yes, he has infinite patience, but is he gonna talk like the ant in the Lord of the Rings? Slowly. "Are you sure he will listen to a rabbit?" Fluttershy asked hesitantly. "He will," Winona said. "I promise." Fluttershy swallowed hard, then turned cautiously to proceed up the tunnel to the uppermost chamber of the great tree. Nope, that's this one. That's not gonna work. It would be an unexpected joke. Well, boss, I think the situation was inevitable. Professor Staggers said. I don't need to tell me that. You to tell me that. I just said. But what are we supposed to do now? The other pages in the world wouldn't be enough to bring the main man back after that. I know, boss, the professor said. It's not but it's not as if we can't function without her. Some small redistribution of labor will allow us to collect the necessary food from the other sources. A small addition of ice will not be a problem to coordinate. And if the food supply does not drop overall, there is no harm in cutting the other creatures' rations again. Angel nodded slowly. I guess you're right, he said finally. It's gonna be kind of different without Shy around though. The professor shook his head in disappointment. Couple, you are letting yourself get too attached to that mare. I warned you time and time again not to let that happen. She is, was one source food and nothing more. Now that she knows our secret and will not provide for us anyway, you are obviously lifted from the obligation of helping her regain her pony form. I must recommend you just forget about her. The professor started toward the nearest rebel hold. Come on, boss. Some work on a big job will take your mind off this. If I think you should be happy to have her out of your hair in time to finish the planning. I kinda have a feeling that Angel is the one who is gonna get the last ingredient for Fluttershy. Because he is still too attached to her. Yeah. Angel grunted. Go ahead, Professor. I'll be along in a minute. The professor disappeared, leaving Angel standing in the cottage's front fork. He stared into the distance, in the direction of Fluttershy, and Winona headed. The professor is right, he thought to himself. Shy was just a convenience. We never needed her for survival. So this is just a unfortunate turn of events for the business, right? He sighed. But it's more than that, isn't it? You try to fake it, but you value that mare's companionship, don't you? And he shook his head frequently. Snap out of it. There is no room for that kind of thing in this organization. We've got work to do. And with Shy is gone, it will be only that much easier. Ignoring the guilty pangs still plaguing him, Angel turned and spread it down the rabbit hole. And again, the first comment. I'm guessing the director is Tank. Will I be correct? Find out in the next chapter. I guess everyone is in the same page. The director must be Tank. And that is the end of the 6th chapter. We finished in time. Yay, it was like 2 hours. Makes sense that we take 1 hour for each chapter. But hey, it's a fun read, and by the 6th chapter I got used to the words. At the beginning I had a lot of problems talking, but I kind of woke up by this time, and there is still a huge storm outside. Looks like we're disconnected an hour in. Maybe he had a storm as well, or maybe fell asleep. But it's fine, he was still here. We can still check the replay of this video. We know we all have life, we all have disconnection issues. Who knows? But at least you stayed. Yeah, I had fun. I had fun. For sure. And I'm curious now about the tank. the director. Right there. So, let's see. I guess I'm counting right now. So 1 hour is 1 chapter, and we have 3 chapters left. We have chapter 7, chapter 8, and the ending. So, before leaving, I'm gonna say this to you. On Friday, we are gonna end this. We are gonna go finish all the chapters in one go. At least that's the plan. If that's okay with you. At least Friday for me. So, today is Tuesday for me. So actually 1, 2, 3 days from now on. And you know what happens after that? After that we are gonna start this thing right here. We are gonna be slower. Oh, wait, what is this? Oh, it's an I was like, what is this 900 words? And I see you have short chapters as well, so we might do 2 chapters at one time. But yeah, let me mark this. Bookmark, there we go. Well, probably better to start with the one shot. Oh, you have a one shot as well. Okay, then we will start with that. But first, we are gonna finish this one. Tomorrow, I will start recording stuff in the morning. Like, you know, I'm so behind in all the YouTube videos. I have one video recorded, which is a Ruby chapter. I still not edited. And that's all I have. I need to record My Little Pony, I need to record John Locke, Kakaguri, whatever other stuff as well. I got some recommendations and requests. So I'm far behind. I will have like I don't know, like 5 hours of recording, and then the next day I will be able to edit them. So by this weekend I will have some videos to put out. I also give you the access to the Google Docs, so you can leave notes. Okay. That will help you and me both. Yeah, let me not read that further, unless you want to read it. And do not more. No, if there's anything we find, I can add them. That's fine. I would open up a notepad either way, so. But yeah. Oh, I'm hurting. I'm hurting every way. But yeah, I'm gonna first of all search for a song. There we go. Enjoy your view. I will. And in the afternoon I plan to stream some Persona, but that's gonna be deep in the morning, or I don't know when for you. It's gonna be like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, like 4 hours away from now. I mean 6 hours away from now. So that's gonna be much later. But now, thank you everyone for being here. Thank you guys for listening to this story. It's not my story. You can check it out. Hit the link down below. And now, I'm gonna leave. See you on Friday. Bye bye.